Chosen ones, the journey to a spiritual breakthrough often begins in the quiet before the storm. You may sense something is shifting in your life, a stirring in your soul that whispers change is near. It's an undeniable pull, an almost tangible energy that lets you know the barriers holding you back are about to crumble. This moment, though filled with anticipation, can also feel unsettling. You may notice that the routines and patterns you once relied on are no longer effective. People you've been close to may start pulling away, or circumstances that seemed stable may suddenly shift. These are not coincidences. They are divine signs that God is preparing you for the next level. A spiritual breakthrough is unlike anything else. It's a transformation that begins deep within, shaking the very foundations of who you are. You may feel like the ground beneath you is shifting, but this is all part of God's divine plan. Before He elevates you, He refines you. As you stand on the verge of this breakthrough, remember this truth: you are not alone. God's presence surrounds you, guiding you through every challenge and preparing you for the glory that lies ahead. Pay attention to the signs. They are messages from the divine, signaling that your breakthrough is closer than ever. Chaos is often the first sign that a massive spiritual breakthrough is on the horizon. Life may feel as though it's unraveling, with everything happening all at once. Relationships may become strained, unexpected obstacles may arise, and even your internal peace may feel disrupted. It's as if the universe itself is pushing you out of your comfort zone. This chaos, while unsettling, serves a purpose. It's designed to strip away anything that no longer aligns with your higher calling. The people, habits, and situations that once felt secure may no longer fit into the path God is creating for you. Though painful, this process is necessary to make room for what is to come. You might feel as though you're losing control, but this is not a sign of failure. It's a sign of divine intervention. God often allows the old to crumble before ushering in the new. Think of it as the pruning of a tree. Branches must be cut for new growth to flourish. During this time, it's crucial to maintain your focus on God. Chaos can be distracting, but it's in these moments that He whispers the loudest. Reflect on past moments of confusion that eventually led to clarity. This is no different. Trust that the turbulence you're experiencing is part of a greater plan. As the chaos continues, ask yourself, what is God removing from my life to prepare me for what's ahead? Have you noticed that doors you once thought were meant for you are suddenly closing? Opportunities that seemed certain have disappeared, relationships you valued may have ended, and pathways you were confident in have been blocked. This resistance may feel confusing, but it's actually one of the clearest signs that you're on the verge of a spiritual breakthrough. God uses resistance not to harm you, but to redirect you. When doors close, it's often because they no longer align with the path He has set before you. As humans, we sometimes cling to the familiar, even when it's no longer serving us. Divine resistance forces us to let go, pushing us closer to the plans God has for us. Consider how Yeshua experienced resistance during His ministry. Time and time again, He encountered opposition from those who misunderstood Him, yet He never wavered from His divine mission. His persistence in the face of resistance reminds us that closed doors are not dead ends, they are divine detours. As He said in John 10:9, "I am the gate, whoever enters through me will be saved." Through Him, the right doors will always open. This resistance often challenges your faith. You might question why God is allowing these hardships or wonder if you've taken a wrong turn. But remember, resistance isn't a sign of punishment, it's a sign of preparation. God is refining your focus, teaching you to trust Him fully, and ensuring that when the right door opens, you'll be ready to walk through it. As you reflect on the doors that have closed, ask yourself this: what greater purpose is God leading me toward, and how can I embrace this redirection with faith? When you're on the verge of a spiritual breakthrough, the unknown can feel overwhelming. It's like walking through a dense fog, unable to see the road ahead. But even in the uncertainty, there are signals, subtle yet profound, pointing you in the right direction. And often, these signals come through Yeshua, the eternal guide for the chosen ones. Yeshua's signals may not always be loud or obvious. Sometimes, they're as gentle as a whisper in your spirit, an unshakable feeling, or a verse that resonates deeply with your current struggles. These moments are not random. They are divine interventions meant to guide you. Remember what Yeshua said in John 10:27. "My sheep listen to my voice. I know them, and they follow me." His voice is always there, even when life feels chaotic. One way Yeshua signals his guidance is through divine alignment. You may notice that certain events or encounters seem too perfectly timed to be coincidences. These synchronicities are his way of confirming that you are on the right path. For instance, you might meet someone who provides exactly the insight you need, or stumble upon a message that feels like it was written just for you. These moments are glimpses of his hand at work. Another way Yeshua guides you is by stirring your heart. You might feel a sudden pull towards something new, or an inner discomfort with where you are. This is him prompting you to step out of your comfort zone. When the disciples were called, Yeshua didn't give them a detailed plan. He simply said, "Follow me." Matthew 4:19. In the same way, his signals often require faith and trust, even when the full picture isn't clear. But his guidance isn't always easy to discern, especially when the noise of the world is loud. This is why it's crucial to stay connected to him through prayer, meditation, and the Word. When you quiet your mind and focus on his presence, his signals become clearer. Sometimes, his guidance may come as a conviction, a strong sense of what you should or shouldn't do. At other times, it might feel like peace, even in the midst of uncertainty. It's also important to recognize that Yeshua's signals may not always align with your expectations. You may have envisioned a specific outcome or path, but his plans often exceed what you can imagine. As Proverbs 16:9 reminds us, "In their hearts, humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps." Trusting his signals means surrendering your own plans and allowing him to lead. For example, think about Peter walking on water. When Yeshua called him to step out of the boat, it made no logical sense. The waves were turbulent, and the act seemed impossible. Yet, as long as Peter kept his eyes on Yeshua, he walked on water. It was only when he focused on the storm that he began to sink. Matthew 14:29-30. This story illustrates how following Yeshua's signals often requires faith that defies logic. As you navigate the unknown, remember that Yeshua's signals are not just about guidance, they're about relationship. He doesn't want you to simply follow a path, he wants you to walk with him. The breakthrough you're seeking isn't just a destination, it's an opportunity to deepen your connection with him. When you rely on him, you'll find that his signals don't just lead you forward, they transform you along the way. The unknown can feel daunting, but Yeshua's signals are like a lighthouse in the fog, guiding you toward the breakthrough he has prepared for you. Each step, even when uncertain, is a step closer to his divine purpose for your life. The question remains, are you ready to trust his signals even when the path ahead is unclear? When a spiritual breakthrough is near, it often feels like an emotional storm has swept over you. The weight of transformation can manifest as heightened emotions, joy, sadness, frustration, or even a deep sense of longing. You may feel like you're on an emotional roller coaster, unsure of why you're experiencing such intensity. This is because transformation begins internally, and your emotions are adjusting to the spiritual shifts happening within you. Emotional overload during this time is not a sign of weakness. It's a reflection of growth. Imagine a caterpillar inside its cocoon. Its transformation into a butterfly requires intense, unseen changes. Similarly, the overwhelming emotions you're experiencing are part of the spiritual shedding process. You are releasing what no longer serves you, making space for the new. During this time, relationships and old patterns may trigger intense emotions. You might feel nostalgia for what you're leaving behind, even if it no longer aligns with your purpose. Alternatively, you might feel anger or sadness toward people or situations that have held you back. These emotions are not meant to control you, but to guide you. Pay attention to what they're revealing about your healing process and the areas where God is working in your life. As you navigate these feelings, remember that God is with you in the storm. Yeshua himself experienced emotional overload in the Garden of Gethsemane. In Luke 22:44, it says, "And being in anguish, he prayed more earnestly, and his sweat was like drops of blood falling to the ground." Even Yeshua felt the weight of transformation as he prepared to fulfill his divine mission. This reminds us that intense emotions are not a sign of failure, but a sign of divine preparation. Practical tools like journaling, prayer, or meditation can help you process your emotions. When you bring your feelings to God, you allow him to guide and comfort you. Psalm 34:18 assures us, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." Lean into his presence and trust that he is using this emotional intensity to refine you. The question that lingers is this: what new strength and clarity will emerge once you've allowed yourself to fully embrace the weight of transformation? Have you ever woken up one day and felt different? Maybe you can't quite put your finger on it, but something within you has shifted. This sudden change in energy is often a clear sign that you're approaching a breakthrough. It's as though your spirit is preparing to step into a new vibration, one that aligns with the purpose God has set before you. This shift in energy can manifest in various ways. You might feel lighter, as if a weight has been lifted, or more energized, even in the midst of challenges. On the other hand, you might feel an unfamiliar stillness, as though your spirit is quietly recalibrating. These sensations are not random. They are your body and soul responding to the spiritual elevation taking place within you. Yeshua often spoke of the power of faith to bring about profound changes. In Mark 11:23, he said, "Truly I tell you, if anyone says to this mountain, 'Go, throw yourself into the sea,' and does not doubt in their heart, but believes that what they say will happen, it will be done for them." This kind of faith shifts not only external circumstances, but also your inner energy, preparing you to move mountains in your life. When this shift occurs, you may notice that your priorities begin to change. Things that once consumed your attention may no longer feel important, while new passions or desires emerge. This is because your energy is aligning with God's plan for your life. As you vibrate at a higher frequency, you naturally attract opportunities and connections that support your spiritual growth. However, this shift can also feel disorienting. You might feel out of sync with the world around you, as though you're no longer operating on the same wavelength as others. This is normal. It's part of being set apart as a chosen one. As you elevate, you'll find that certain relationships, habits, or environments may no longer resonate with you. Trust that this is God's way of pruning what is no longer aligned with your destiny. During this time, it's crucial to nurture your connection with God. Spend time in prayer, worship, and reflection to ground yourself in His presence. These practices will help you make sense of the changes you're experiencing and prepare you for what's ahead. As your energy shifts, one question remains. How will you harness this newfound alignment to step boldly into the breakthrough God has prepared for you? Every spiritual breakthrough is part of a greater design, a divine blueprint crafted specifically for you. As a chosen one, your breakthrough is not just about personal transformation, but fulfilling a purpose that aligns with Yeshua's teachings and God's eternal plan. Recognizing this blueprint can provide clarity and assurance as you move forward, even when the path seems uncertain. Yeshua's life on earth offers us a perfect example of how breakthrough moments align with divine purpose. From his baptism to his resurrection, every significant moment in his journey served a higher calling. When Yeshua fasted for 40 days in the wilderness, it wasn't just a test of endurance, it was preparation for his ministry. Similarly, your breakthrough is preparing you for the role God has designed for you in his kingdom. One way to recognize Yeshua's blueprint in your life is to reflect on the challenges you've faced. Often, the obstacles that seem the most difficult are the very things God uses to shape and refine you. Romans 8:28 reminds us, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose." Your struggles are not in vain, they are part of the plan. Another way to discern his blueprint is by examining your unique gifts and passions. What are the talents or abilities that come naturally to you? What are the causes or issues that stir your heart? These are not coincidences. They are indicators of the role you are meant to play in God's greater design. Yeshua himself often used parables to help people understand their purpose, encouraging them to recognize their gifts and use them for God's glory. As you uncover this divine blueprint, you may feel moments of doubt or fear. After all, stepping into a higher calling often requires stepping outside your comfort zone. But remember, Yeshua walks with you every step of the way. In Matthew 28:20, he promises, "And surely I am with you always, to the very end of the age." Trust in his presence, even when the path feels daunting. The question that arises is this: how will you align your life with Yeshua's blueprint, trusting that every breakthrough is a step closer to fulfilling his purpose for you? When you're nearing a spiritual breakthrough, it's as though the universe begins to align in your favor. You may start noticing synchronicities, those seemingly coincidental moments that feel charged with divine meaning. These events are not random. They are God's hand actively guiding your journey, affirming that you're on the right path. Synchronicities often show up as patterns or repeated symbols in your life. Perhaps you keep seeing the same numbers, encountering the same messages, or meeting people who seem to appear at just the right time. These moments may seem small, but they carry profound significance. They are God's way of communicating with you, reminding you that he is in control. Consider how synchronicities played a role in Yeshua's ministry. Time and time again, people encountered him at just the right moment. Their lives forever changed. Think of the Samaritan woman at the well, who met Yeshua and found living water, John 4:13-14. Their encounter was no coincidence. It was divinely orchestrated. In the same way, the synchronicities in your life are God's way of bringing you into alignment with his plan. These moments often serve as confirmation. When you're unsure of a decision or doubting your path, a synchronicity can act as a nudge from God, encouraging you to trust him. For example, you may be wrestling with a choice when a sermon, a conversation, or even a song provides the exact answer you've been seeking. These divine alignments are God's way of showing you that he is with you. But synchronicities also require discernment. Not every coincidence is a sign from God, and it's important to stay grounded in prayer and scripture as you navigate these moments. Proverbs 3:6 advises, "In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight." When you align your heart with God's will, he will reveal which moments are truly from him. As you begin to recognize these synchronicities, you might feel a renewed sense of awe and gratitude. It's humbling to realize that the creator of the universe is actively involved in the details of your life. Yet, these moments are not just for reassurance, they are calls to action. God uses synchronicities to prompt you to take bold steps of faith, trusting that he has already prepared the way. The question that lingers is this: what actions will you take to respond to the divine synchronicities in your life, knowing that they are leading you toward a massive breakthrough? As you approach your spiritual breakthrough, you may notice a sudden surge in your energy. It's as though every part of your being, your mind, body, and spirit, has been awakened to a higher frequency. This is not your imagination. It's a vibrational amplification, a tangible sign that your spiritual growth is accelerating and you're aligning with divine energy on a deeper level. This energy boost is a reflection of the spiritual elevation you're undergoing. When your vibration increases, you naturally resonate with higher frequencies of love, peace, and purpose. You may find yourself feeling lighter, more focused, and even more attuned to the presence of God in your life. This isn't just a physical sensation, it's a spiritual shift that signals you're moving closer to your breakthrough. Think about the moment when Yeshua healed the woman who had been suffering for years. She touched his garment and immediately felt the power flow into her, changing her life in an instant. Mark 5:30. That same divine energy is what fuels your vibrational amplification. It's the power of God flowing through you, preparing you for what's ahead. This 10x energy boost can manifest in different ways. You might feel a sudden clarity about decisions that once seemed impossible. Perhaps you notice that your creativity or problem-solving skills have heightened, allowing you to tackle challenges with ease. Or you might experience an increased sense of empathy and connection, as though you're seeing the world through God's eyes. However, this amplified energy can also feel overwhelming. Your physical body may struggle to keep up with the spiritual elevation, leaving you feeling restless or even fatigued at times. This is a reminder to care for yourself holistically, nurturing your body, mind, and spirit through rest, prayer, and reflection. One of the most profound effects of this energy shift is how it impacts those around you. People may begin to notice your newfound radiance, drawn to your presence without fully understanding why. This is because your higher vibration is contagious, inspiring others to seek their own spiritual growth. As you embrace this 10x energy boost, one question remains: how will you harness this newfound power to align with God's purpose and step fully into your breakthrough? When you're on the verge of a massive spiritual breakthrough, it often feels as though you're being tested like never before. This final test is not meant to break you, but to strengthen your faith and ensure you're ready for the blessings ahead. Trusting God's timing is the ultimate challenge, especially when you're so close to the breakthrough you've been praying for. At this stage, you may encounter delays or obstacles that seem to contradict the progress you've made. You might feel frustrated, questioning why God hasn't yet opened the door you know is meant for you. These moments of waiting can be some of the hardest to endure, but they are also some of the most crucial. Isaiah 40:31 reminds us, "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint." Waiting on God's timing is where your strength is renewed. Yeshua himself modeled perfect trust in God's timing. Throughout his ministry, he often spoke of the importance of patience and faith. Consider his first miracle at the wedding in Cana, John 2:4. When asked to intervene, Yeshua replied, "My hour has not yet come." Even he, the Son of God, waited for the precise moment to act according to the Father's will. During this final test, it's essential to stay rooted in prayer and Scripture. This is where your faith is refined and your trust in God deepens. The waiting period isn't a punishment, it's a preparation. God is aligning every detail, ensuring that when the breakthrough arrives, you are ready to receive it fully. You may also notice that this test brings clarity. As you wait, you gain a deeper understanding of what truly matters and what distractions you need to release. This is the refining fire that removes any impurities, leaving only what is aligned with God's purpose. But trusting God's timing doesn't mean being passive. It's about staying faithful, continuing to prepare, and taking inspired action as He leads. Your breakthrough isn't just about the destination, it's about the transformation that happens along the way. The lingering question is this: in this final test, will you choose to trust God completely, believing that His timing is always perfect and that your breakthrough is on its way? The moment of breakthrough is unlike anything you've ever experienced. It's not just an external shift, it's the unveiling of a new version of yourself, one that has been refined, elevated, and aligned with God's purpose. As you step into this new chapter, you'll realize that everything you endured was preparing you for this exact moment. Breakthroughs are not always dramatic or immediate. Sometimes they unfold subtly, like a sunrise gradually illuminating the horizon. Other times, they arrive like a bolt of lightning, transforming everything in an instant. Regardless of how it manifests, your breakthrough is a divine moment when the barriers that once held you back are removed and you step fully into the person God created you to be. At the heart of every breakthrough is revelation. You'll begin to see with new eyes, understanding the deeper meaning behind the trials you faced. The pieces of your journey, those moments of pain, confusion, and waiting, now fit together in a way that reveals God's perfect plan. This revelation brings a profound sense of gratitude as you realize that even in the darkest moments, God was working for your good. As you walk into this breakthrough, your energy will feel renewed. The 10x vibration boost you've experienced is now your new baseline. You'll find yourself operating with greater clarity, purpose, and confidence. This isn't just a personal transformation, it's a spiritual elevation that impacts every area of your life. Your relationships, work, and even your perspective on the world will align with the higher frequency you now embody. Yeshua's influence is evident in this transformation. Just as He called Lazarus from the tomb, John 11:43-44, your breakthrough feels like stepping out of a place of limitation and into a life of abundance. His words, "I am the resurrection and the life," echo in your journey. The old you has been left behind, and the new you is walking in the light of His promises. This breakthrough is also a commissioning. God has not brought you to this place simply for your benefit. He has elevated you so that you can inspire and uplift others. Your journey is a testimony of His power and faithfulness, and your new energy will naturally draw people to seek the same transformation. But even in this moment of triumph, the journey is not over. Breakthroughs are not endpoints. They are gateways to the next level of growth and purpose. With each elevation, new challenges and opportunities will arise, calling you to continue walking in faith and alignment with God's will. As you embrace this new season, one question remains: how will you use this breakthrough to fulfill your divine purpose, and what new heights is God preparing to take you to next?
Chosen ones, if you enjoy our videos and would like to support our channel, feel free to buy us a coffee. The link will be in the description below. Thanks for watching and have a blessed day.